On today's video, I bought a 2006 Mini Cooper S convertible, 6-speed with 29,465 miles. I bought it from the original owners. We do a oil change and spark plugs, a car detail. I talked about the pros and cons and my overall impressions. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mike the Baldadonis and I buy and sell cars as a hobby, and I bring you guys along with me showing the pros and cons of each vehicle I buy. I do travel videos throughout New England and I talk about my life experiences. Alright guys, let's get into it. I've owned 13 Mini Cooper S's, R53, R52, and one R56. I'm not a fan of the R56 being a turbo. It has more problems. I actually bought that years ago and it came with a warranty. So that's the only reason why I actually bought it. I am a fan of the supercharger and I love my convertibles. So 13 of these cars, they are a love-hate relationship for sure. All right, so I did buy this from an 80-year-old man and his 75-year-old wife. You know, when you get to that age, you know, it's time to let things go, and this car was one of them. So was this car perfect? Almost. 29,465 miles, mechanically beautiful. Underneath, beautiful. It was garage all of its life. It did have a few nicks and dings to be expected of a vehicle this old and with older owners. And for me to keep this stock 100% was killing me. I wanted to put stripes, I wanted to put fog lights, maybe a different set of wheels, but being original once, I just kept it all original. And you know, it is what it is. I like the looks of it. Low mile cars are fun to say that you have. 29,000 miles on 06 Mini Cooper S, that sounds impressive. People don't drive them that often. It's used sparingly, but there's a catch to that. Dry rotted tires, leaks, oil leaks from valve cover gasket, power steering lines, they can leak. And that's what happens with a low mile car. It's not being used. Expect to have some leaks. This one also had a intake manifold gasket replaced as well. All right, in this clip, we're gonna take the car to my friend's shop, Mike at Mike's Honda in Hudson, New Hampshire. We're gonna do spark plugs because I believe they're original, and we're gonna do an oil change. And as the car's up on the lift, I will show you what it looks like underneath for having such a low mile car here in New England. So let's take a look.
Looks like you might have a little commercial.
Yeah, but that may be water, right? Condensation?
No.
How can I help you? I have some questions about my trees, shrubs, perennials, annuals, begonias, indoor and outdoor plants.
So it is approximately 6:30 seconds.
So halfway one.
Halfway. And this is like 7:30 seconds.
Hot?
Perfect. Someone didn't ham it on. Somebody just. That's great.
How's she looking?
Not bad, considering 3 years. It's dirty, but it's not crazy.
It's only got like 2,500 miles on it.
And I was like, I find that funny that girls are like that now, are like that nowadays. Like, how could you like, you know?
Oh!
It's not.
There it is.
There it is.
Nice.
Working on German stuff.
Right?
Even though he didn't want to, he does. $50 an hour, I'm not doing it, you know?
Thank you.
I've never seen the guy, but there's tons of guys that do it. This
Yeah.
guy here. So this guy took
Look at that. That's water right from the fountain.
synthetic, buddy, synthetic. So this guy, the guy that I was on,
Right to the last drop, motherfucker.
pretty much. I use oils that my dealership used since 2011. So you figure, if a dealership will use it, okay, it's just a little sticky rubber. Okay.
Does it look like it's original?
Well, you know what? Let's. They're brand new.
Really?
Well, they're newer.
Yeah, they have the different.
So they're a quad one. So it has a 4-gap.
So I think somebody put spark plugs in. That's my assessment. Because they didn't come with those 4 prongs back when they were new.
Well, it's got a BMW number on it. That's my only thing. But who knows? Who knows? No. Were like 7mm 7mm wires. It's possible. What were they called? Like split power?
All that shit.
Something
Yeah,
power?
they had all different
Split fire. Split fire.
with the V. Yes,
So?
absolutely.
They're never made for long-term reliability. Here we are. Well, no, it's a little high, but I wouldn't worry about it.
It's good. The height? Yeah, looks good.
Looks good. It uses, I think it uses the
I
weird
have-
European
I have.
green stuff there, the pentasol or whatever it is. Yes. Yeah. Oh. Level's okay. We didn't start the vehicle, so oil hasn't spread everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's a touch high, which is
Okay.
fine because the filter's dry. So once everything gets settled where the filter is, I'm sure it'll be perfect.
So a few years ago, I made a video about the 2005 to 2006 R53, the 2005 to 2008 R52 convertible, the 200 plus improvements on the vehicle. So if you get a chance, I'll leave a link in the description. You can see all the upgrades. The car came from the 2004, the 2002 models. All right, so in this clip, we're gonna do a car detail. It is 96 degrees right now, and when I did this car wash, it was also 96 degrees, so I was quite miserable. And you're gonna see how soaking wet my t-shirt is, but I had to do it, so let's take a look. All right, before we get to the pros and cons and my overall impressions, I have an Insta360 X4 camera. I love this camera. You know, it has the 2 lenses on each side and it eliminates the selfie stick. I did a little video of me driving around my neighborhood, so let's take a look. All right, let's talk about some of the pros and cons. Pros, it's a convertible, obviously. The other thing is being a convertible, this opens up about 2 feet, so it acts as a sunroof. So I think that's a pretty neat feature. It's quick, handles well, great on gas. It seats 4, being tall at 6'4" and 250 pounds. I love these cars because I can fit. And if you're a taller person, this car is probably for you. This car has an upgraded stereo and it sounds fantastic. You can use this car all year long. If you need to drive it in the snow or bad weather, it is like a little tank. You put on snow tires for the snow and this thing is unbelievable, seriously. And they still look amazing if they're in really good shape. All right, let's talk about the cons. Maintenance. This is the Achilles heel of this vehicle. This is such a tough car to own, and that's why I say it's a love-hate relationship. Owning so many of these, I've had one bad car. And the person I bought the vehicle from, he actually spent $6,000 on repairs. When I got it, I spent over $3,000 on repairs. And that one, it was just one of those bad cars. If you buy a bad Mini Cooper, you're gonna regret owning one. But the other cars, I've had very little to no problems, and they're fantastic. So that being said, all right, the maintenance, a lot of times the front bumper has to come off to get inside that motor. It's just too tight. That's why maintenance costs can be very expensive. So if you have a friend that can help you out, if you can do it yourself, but if you have to take it to a dealership or a repair shop, just don't buy this car. It's just not for you. This can be a harsh ride for some people. I myself don't like run flat tires on this car. They usually come with run flat tires, so I usually swap them out to more conventional tires. Okay, the top, when it's up, it's very noisy. There's not a lot of insulation in that convertible top. It's not a high-end car, you know, so it can be a little on the noisy side, but once the top's down, who cares? But I do care when the top is up because it drives me crazy sometimes. Being a convertible, this car has a slight shimmy, just a little bit of a wiggle because there's no roof. To tighten that up, you can get a strut bar and that will help. The big thing for me, the rear roll bar, because it sits high and the back seats sit higher than the front seats, you cannot see behind you. So it's a big blind spot. Even with the top down, with that roll bar, it's tough to see behind you. All right, some of the maintenance problems that can happen with this car. The early clutches used to go bad around 50,000 miles. The early superchargers, they had a Teflon in the blades that would deteriorate. And if you didn't change your supercharger oil, because there's only 4 ounces of oil, well, it can disintegrate. Timing chain guides. If you don't change your oil often enough, they can rattle and eventually you may have to replace that. Power steering. Well, it's a electric power steering pump, so that goes as well. Rear brake lines seem to be a issue here in New England because they are so thin. The salt gets up there, it deteriorates, and you have to replace those brake lines. And of course, you'll have some gremlins with electricals, you'll have some other maintenance things that you have to do, just like any other car. But if you buy a good car, I think you'd be very happy. All right, so with that being said, I ended up selling the car. All right, so a gentleman named Dave and his wife, they ended up buying it. So I asked them if they can be in the video, and they agreed. We're taking another ride with the Insta360 X4 camera with the new owners, so let's take a look. Okay, so upcoming videos. I went to Portsmouth, New Hampshire the other day. I'm doing a short video, so that will be end of this week. My girlfriend's Volkswagen, we have to check for oil leaks because we put a PCV valve in and that was leaking big time. So after that repair, we're gonna check to make sure there's no oil leaking. I have a 2011 Lexus RX 350 with 189,000 miles. That is the next car video. My friend Dave has a 1962 Chrysler. Eventually, we'll get that video going. It's gonna be a big video, so it should be fun. And as always, my FJ Cruiser with 335,000 miles. I will always do some kind of video about it just to keep making videos on it because 335,000 miles, you know what I'm saying? All right, so until the next video, everybody, Baldadonis out.